Hello, everyone. This video is showing how we can make some cotton mask by ourselves. Sometimes we need mask to prevent, say, allergy from the pollen grays, or if you want to dust your house and then you want to prevent from inhaling the dust, you can also wear a cotton mask. This is the product. I have tried of quite a lot of patterns, and this one I think it is much easier to do because you this. Let me show you the pattern. This is the pattern. Okay, this is the top. This is the bottom, and I will put up a link so that you can download the pattern and print on a piece of A4 paper by yourself. And then all you need to do is just you need 2 pieces of cloth, and then you fold the cloth, and then you can paste the pattern here. Okay, and then there's 1 cm here for the sewing, the seam, and then this one is 1.5 cm. And then you need 2 pieces or 3 pieces of cloth. It depends on what kind of fabric you have, or whether your fabric is thick or thin, etc. Okay, right. And then after you have prepared 2 pieces of cloth like that, make sure you say mark which part is the upper part. Okay, this part is on the top, it's on your nose, and then this is near your chin. And you also need to prepare a piece of wire, and you try to find something wrapped with plastic so that it is not getting rusted after you have washed your cloth mask. Okay, and for mine I am using this one, but I think that it may not be hard enough. That's why I make it double. Okay, I wire 2 wires together. Okay, you can just adjust this by yourself, or you can use double or just single, depends on the type of wire that you have got. And then there are the elastics, the cotton elastic. Okay, now first of all, okay, we need to sew up this part first. It's a bit thick. You can adjust this part after you have get your first trial. Okay, you may say you want to have it longer, or you may need to have a narrow seam. You can adjust it when you have the second one, right? you can have a look. Okay, it will be looks like that. Okay, the shape. You can try this on and see whether it really fits you, and then you can still make some adjustment. And then if you are happy with that, then you can try to trim off the threads, the extra cloth, because this one is a bit thick. It's better if I trim off the extra one. And then I have this kind of tools. Then you can press out the cloth here by making use of this one instead of using the iron. It depends. If you don't have this one, you can just use your iron to iron on it, so that it will be much easier to sew. Right. This is the inner part, and then this is the cloth for the outer part. We just do the same. Right. It's a bit loose. I better add one more. Double check it and then see whether it is good. Okay, if it is good, then we can just proceed. Do the same for this part. When you are come to this point, you make it a curve. Then in this case, it is not so pointed. For the pointed, it means when you turn it, this part is not so pointed. Okay, therefore you can, when you sew this part, instead of a straight line and then come to this point, you can make it like a curve. Okay, curve it a little bit, and then if after you are checked, and then if you are happy with that, then you can trim off the extra cloth. Okay, and then I press it out a bit. Okay, and then just do the same for the other side. Okay, and then this part is the top. Okay, this one is the top, and then we put the right sides together, and then make sure the centers align together. Okay, and then you can clip it or pin it, okay, so that the cloth doesn't move. Okay, and then you align the two cloth together. There may be the case that it seems that this one is a bit longer because the layer for the inner is a bit thick. That's why when I cut it, there may be a bit error. I know that, and then never mind if the error is not very big, and then you can just trim it after sewing them together. Okay, and then you clip like that, and then you can double check, make sure that the right size are together, okay, before sewing them. Okay, of course you can also keep the bottom. Okay, we will first sew the top part and then the bottom part, and then there's an opening here. We can turn it out so that the right side will be outside. Okay, that's why we will do the sewing on these two parts first. You can clip them so that the position is well fixed. Right. Oh, I need more clips here. Okay, you can look at it, and then you can see that the shape, okay, they fit each other, and then it seems there's some little extra part, then you can trim it off after sewing. Okay, okay, and then we do the same for the bottom. can double check, see whether it looks nice. Okay, because the cloth used in the inner layer is it's a little bit elastic. Sometimes maybe I put a bit too hard, then there's some extra cloth outside the seam, and then you can see, double check whether it is okay. If it is okay, then just a little bit is you can just trim it off if it does not affect the shapes too much. And for the bottom one, actually I don't need so much seam, that's why I can just trim it narrower. But for the upper part, I need to keep this because I need to put my wire inside here, in between these two layers. You can just put your wire here like that. And then it means you don't need to sew on the parts that it can be seen by the other people. Okay, it is hidden inside the cloth. Okay, later when you turn the right side out, okay, it will be hidden here like that. Okay, for the wire. And it is better because some people may think that when you sew the line on the cloth, this creates some holes, some extra holes on the cloth. Then it lower the efficiency and the effectiveness of the face mask. That's why if you want to prevent sewing too many lines on your cotton mask, this is the case that you can put the wire. Okay, you can just hide the wire inside the extra seam here. Okay, sew it, secure it, and then when you turn the right side out, then it is just hidden. No one will see it. Okay, and then you have to feel where the wire is, and then you have to sew just like a rectangle. Okay, to make sure that it stays inside. Okay, and then when you sew it up, make sure you feel where the wire is. Don't sew on the wire, otherwise your needle will be broken. Okay, and then be very careful. Okay, because this part is very narrow. Okay, don't use your finger to push the cloth. You can use, just like me, use a smaller scissor. Okay, or a pen or screwdriver. Okay, just make sure you don't put your finger here. Okay, and then you can double check where the wire is. Okay, and then just do it slowly. No need to be hurry. Okay, and then make sure that it is the end of the wire. You can double check, and then sew a few stitches here so that to stop the wire from coming out. Okay, and then the wire is here. It means I sew in this direction to stop the wire coming out in this direction, and then seal this part, and then at the end of the wire, and then sew a few stitches here. Okay, and then for the other part, if you think that there there's too much cloth, then you can just cut it. Okay. Whether you need to cut the extra cloth, it depends on the fabric that you are using. Because the fabric I'm using now is a bit thick, therefore it is better for me if I can just cut the extra cloth. Then it will be much more comfortable. Now, then in this case, we can just turn this inside out like that. And then after you have turned it out, you can further double check it by putting this on your face and see whether you're really happy with it. Because you can still make some adjustment. Okay, if you find that it is a bit too big or what, or a part of it is not secure enough, then you can still maybe make some adjustment like that. The wire is here, okay, and then just take a look and see whether it is you like it. And then of course it is better if you it depends on what you use the cotton mask. If just a general purpose to prevent dust, to prevent say pollen grains, okay, of course it looks better if you add one more line here. Okay, but just like what I said before, if you want to prevent some disease, some people may think that it is better not to add more holes, okay, by stitching, okay, on it. Okay, that's why in this case I can just keep the mask like that. Okay, and then you can just use the iron, okay, to press the line here. Okay, now come to this part. I will sew the elastic somewhere here. Okay, the ends are open so that you can adjust the length by making a knot. Okay, just like this one. Okay, if you want to make it tighter, then you can just move the knot in this direction, or you need it longer. Okay, and then you can adjust it. Okay, and then when you find it is good for you, then you can just cut the extra part of the elastic. That's why I usually put the elastic like that and then just put it inside and then sew like that. Now if you have this kind of foot for your machine, then you can cut this opening much in a tidy manner. Okay, if not, maybe you need to add some zigzag stitches here to secure the end here. I'm going to use this one. But when you use this foot, make sure you adjust the type of stitch, okay, because it will use the zigzag stitch. Okay, and then make sure your needles does not touch the foot when sewing, otherwise it will be broken. Okay, and let me tidy a little bit. Okay, right. And then that's why I need to make an opening first. Okay, get a small cut, and then put it in, and then you cut and sew the end. It looks like that. Make sure that right. Okay. Then I change back to the normal foot that I use for sewing. And then change back to straight stitch, and then we can put the elastic somewhere in the middle, throw it like that. That's the case that I found that the two ends sometimes a bit too thick. Okay, you may find some difficulty in starting. Okay, because too thick. Okay, the machines cannot move the cloth. That's why in this time I will try to sew in this way. It depends on your machine, because I have tried several times. There will be a bit difficult for me to push the cloth. Okay, and then the cloth may just start here, and therefore instead of starting in the middle at the beginning, this time I would say start sewing in the middle, because this part is not so thick. Okay, and then start in the middle. Right, then press it. And then I will sew this part, okay, also from the middle. It seems much easier to do so when the cloth is thick. Right. Right. Nice. Okay, like that. And then we do the other part. Okay, just the same. Get an elastic here, and then somewhere in the middle, fold it. Okay, and just secure it. Okay, and then also I will start somewhere in the middle. And then finish the other part. Just make sure that it's inside. And then just double check, and then when it is okay, just cut the tags. And then you can just wash it before wearing it. Okay, and adjust the length of the elastic. Okay, you make a knot, don't make it so tight, and then try to wear it and then see whether it fits you. Okay, if this is okay, then here is your mask, right? And for some people ask me whether this size also fits gentlemen. Now the case is that this is the pattern, and then you can slightly adjust the size. For example, I keep the 1 cm here, but if you need a bigger one, you can still use this pattern, but instead of sewing on this line, you can just sew on this. It means instead of keeping this the length here to be 1 cm, you can just say use 7 millimeter. Okay, you sew here, you sew here, then it can be a bit bigger. Okay, and then for this one is also, this part is the chin. Okay, sorry, this is the top. Okay, you adjust this one, and also the chin part. If you want to say make it a bit bigger, that's the case that instead of going in this way, you may say start sewing like that, then it can be slightly bigger for the chin. Okay, therefore you can adjust the pattern by yourself. Also this part, okay, you can make it longer. Okay, right, this is what I'm showing to you today. Hope you like it. Thank you for watching.